Welcome to the episode of this video series. Hello again, I'm David Kugel. If you don't know me, I'm the director and auctioneer at Kelleher Auctions, Fine Agent Auctions, and I want to introduce to you today the highly anticipated 86 Dragon Supreme Auction. Among the highest auction values and drawing the most attention within Asian philately. Many collectors in Asia are amazed by the unique opportunity that this sale presents by including so many extraordinary items in one auction this year. This is an unprecedented event, the likes of which the Asian marketplace has never seen. To give you a better introduction to this auction, we'll also be connecting via phone with Mr. Jeffrey Schneider, the co-host of this auction, to provide insights from a different perspective. Larry, the front cover doesn't have any stamps on it. It only features the name of the auction and an image of a golden dragon. Larry, am I right? Am I missing something? Can you explain to me what's going on here?
Well, we decided to save the front cover more of a motif and an introduction. In fact, it's almost impossible to pick a favorite stamp from this auction because it touches on the rare stamps of every chapter of China's history. And so to pick one would be almost impossible. So we just decided on the back cover to just give a little sampling of some of the things we have. Just a taste, a little taste.
Okay, so this is a taste, everybody.
This is a taste.
I tell you what, I'm already drooling if it's a taste.
Yeah, it's a very unique auction.
Well, Larry, that is truly exciting. I know that you toiled many hours with Jeffrey trying to figure out how to best present this. This is a lifetime achievement for both of you, for the firm, for the collecting community, and for all of Asia philately. And I know you wanted to do the very best you could. This quite unique 86 Supreme Jizun in Mandarin. Why was this name chosen, and it must have a special meaning to you guys? Why did you choose it, and what's behind the covers on this one?
Well, it's a very lucky and exceptional number, which signifies only good things that friends may use to the other. It also kind of signifies the best of the best, the cream of the crop, as we say. So what you're going to find in here, for the most part, are just some stellar examples, items that have impeccable provenance, appeared in the best collections, and some items that you may get one chance in a lifetime to own. So for those reasons, we kind of tried to make it a special name for it. And Ben from our firm was also very helpful because we sat around talking, what can we really call this special sale?
Larry, I love the name of blessing that this Supreme sale carries. It gives me goosebumps, honestly, when I see this. And I know all the efforts that you and Jeffrey, almost 100 years of collecting and dealing philatelically, the pinnacle of your careers, the highlight of every rare stamp from within Asia. It's got to be really incredible. I'm looking forward to meeting many friends again when I return to Hong Kong. You've been in Asia for decades and participated in. I think we used to keep track. And I remember when you broke 100 trips to Hong Kong, You stopped counting. You're probably up to 200 now. And you participated in so many auctions. You acquired the John Bull firm for Greg Manning, and just all those times we had with Rosa. And I mean, what great histories. How important would you describe this 86th auction for you personally at this time in your life?
Well, this is kind of a culmination because, and not just for me personally, but looking back, and I was speaking with Jeffrey Schneider about this, it's hard to remember a sale with 86 lots or 80 lots, somewhere,
under 100 lots.
Under 100 lots that was just packed with just important pieces. And that's what we find here, and that's what makes it so special. And
so every stamp could really be its own little catalog.
Oh, every stamp, virtually every stamp would be the highlight of any Chinese auction.
Wow, again, I get goosebumps when I hear this. It's just really exciting.
So it's really it's really special. And when I have our catalogs are in production, but we've been working on some drafts and so forth. And as I flip through it, it's even more mind-boggling to me. So I think the high-end collectors, the people who are in this for the long haul, and the people looking for not the finest of the rarest, you'll find it
Well,
here.
but you could wait a lifetime to find any one of these stamps, and here they all are sitting in one
Yes.
beautiful catalog, the '86 Supreme Dragon Sale. Again, it's amazing. I think we're going to turn now to our colleague, Mr. Jeffrey Schneider, who's also worked in Asia for many. I think he has you beaten a number of years in Asia. He lived there for a long period of time, and I'd like to hear from him about the significance to him personally and his viewpoints on this auction. Hi, Jeffrey. How are you doing?
How are you?
Hope you're well. How important are these lots in the context of Chinese postal history for the covers and for the stamps? How important is this sale from your perspective? And could you expand a little bit, because you're like the scholarly approach to philately, and it would be great for us to hear your perspective.
Well, it's very difficult to say precisely, but in a way, it's an overused expression. It's kind of the best of the best. What was put together was something representing the period from 1878, when China issued its first stamps, and actually the first lot in the auction is one of the first essays of a proposed design for the stamp, which features an elephant and a bat, which has quite a lot of symbolism as far as Chinese thinking is concerned, and it carries on straight through the People's Republic, the rare issues of the People's Republic. So virtually, although it's a very small sale, it covers the whole gamut of Chinese history.
Now I'm going to challenge both of you guys. I don't ever get to do this. I got the two kingpins of Chinese philately right here, and what I'd like to know is from each of you, and I know you're going to say you can't do it, so just stop and do it, okay? What is your favorite lot, Larry, in this '86 auction, and why you choose it? And Jeffrey, I'm going to challenge you in just a minute to do the very same thing. Larry?
Well, if I have to go first, I get the first pick. So it's impossible. But I would have
from
to
New Jersey,
say
you must like that.
it's impossible. I personally, it would probably be this stamp, this pair here. It's unique, 5 Kandarin chrome yellow, 1885, horizontal pair, imperforate between. Now, there's a couple things about this that I find fascinating. First of all, the stamp was released in 1885. And even with the other rare,
Isn't that when Kelleher was founded?
it was the same year, actually.
Boston?
Yes,
The Daniel Kelleher firm was founded in
1885.
The firm's gonna. Well, we can't afford it.
No.
We can't buy it. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
So this item has been around a long, long time. As compared to the other large dragon imperforate betweens, which there are anywhere from 3 to 5 pairs known, this is the only one. After all these years, this is it. There's the only one that has ever been located. And people say, well, how long has it been acknowledged? What's the provenance? This stamp first appeared in auction as lot 490 in 1925 in the Gilbert auction in Paris, the property of Count Ferrari. Since then, it's gone through the hands of Arthur Hine, Major Star, Annalisa and Sven Beckman, and of course, most recently, Wanman Fong, which last appeared in 2003.
So wouldn't this be like the 3-skilling rarity from Sweden that sold for millions of dollars?
Well, yes, but rather than being a major number, it is a variety.
Well, it's a variety, but the yellow reminded me of that.
If you collect large dragons, and there are many people who collect large dragons, they're the first issues of China. Only one person can own this.
Wow.
And so that, to me, that separates this stamp from.
So this is the one you want to get.
Well, one of many, but yeah, this happens to be my personal.
So people, you're gonna have to step up to the plate if you want to own these rarities. And I appreciate it, and I just am astounded. And I still get goosebumps. I'm gonna go back to that when I see these stamps and hear you guys talk about it. So Jeffrey, it's now your turn, and Larry made first pick. It doesn't mean you can't choose the same one, but if you do, I don't know. That's kind of a little bit gauche. So Jeffrey, what do you think is your favorite, and why is it your favorite? Because I really would love to know your perspective of this, having conducted some of the best, rarest auctions in Hong Kong over your career, starting out with Robbie Lowe in London and moving up through the ranks and your own company in Hong Kong, and now having the pleasure to work with you. The enjoyment of that is just so unique and wonderful. What's your perspective?
So I would say I would actually choose 3 stamps, and it's basically the fact that there were very few errors produced, which is very surprising, at the time, the way, because they were the stamps were printed in Shanghai, and this was the first time that they had, printed proper stamps. And probably the one that, from a collecting point of view, might not seem to be the best, because people are very quality conscious, is the top value, which was a 5 Kandarin stamp. The perforations are missing in the middle. We call this an imperforate between pair, and these are quite sought after. And I think in the first issue of Chinese stamps, there are only 4 recognized varieties for collectors, and this stamp happens to be the only example of that value, the 5 Kandarin value that's imperforate between. And from a collecting perspective, historically, it's very important because it was first in the collection of a collector named Ferrari, who's recognized as really the greatest collector ever. And that stamp stayed in his collection until it was sold after World War I to help pay for war reparations. And since the Ferrari collection, it's gone to various collections, the Arthur Hine collection, and more in art, and Major James Starr collection, and finally to the collection belonging to Mr. and Mrs. Beckerman. And throughout the history of collecting, I think there have been maybe 6 collectors who have owned all 3 stamps.
Thank you, everybody, for your participation. Now let's take some time to preview these treasures, and I wish you great success in this auction. Please sit down, get a drink, a coffee, and take a look at this next video because it's going to blow you away.
Mysterious pneumonia outbreak in Wuhan, China.
A new type of coronavirus.
The number of affected countries has tripled.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.